Hi, I'm Certified Master Chef Daryl Schuler, member of the American Culinary Federation Atlanta Chefs Association. I'm here to demonstrate the fabrication of round fish utilizing a very versatile fish that is used quite often in the industry, whole salmon. So here we have our whole salmon. So the first thing we want to do is to make sure that the fish is nice and fresh. How do we determine if the fish is fresh? First, we look at the flesh of the fish to make sure that it's nice and firm, nice and shiny. We do not see any blemishes, bright eyes, bright gills under the gill plate, and it has very little to no aroma. To make sure that the protein stays nice and clean, it's very important that we work in a very smooth and efficient way, but at the same time, making sure that before we start anything, our station is sanitized and ready for production. So let's begin fabrication of the salmon here. So the first thing that I want to do is to remove the head. So typically what I'll do is take the belly here, lift up, and then take my blade and cut towards the head of the salmon as far up as possible. And you'll see you have a nice clean cut there. Then I will roll it over and remove the other side of the head, cutting all the way up to the top and head off. Keeping the blade clean. Now that the head is removed, now it's time to remove the fillets. And as you can see here, there's a clean eye here, which is the backbone. And what I want to do is place my knife directly above that bone. And what I'm going to do is just use my knife to cut down through the salmon. And as you can hear, you can feel and hear the bones cut as we take the fillet all the way off down towards the tail. And as you can see, nice and clean. Now let's remove the other fillet. And as you can see, we have nice clean removal. We're going to start right under the bone. And we're just going to cut once again in a nice long sawing action all the way down, allowing the blade to do the job all the way down towards the end. And as you can see here, we have nice clean bone and we have nice salmon there. What you want to do is make sure that you work in a nice, smooth, and efficient flow. So typically what I will do is hang the fillet at an angle so that I'm coming from left top down to right bottom in a nice, smooth, and efficient manner. And then we're going to take the blade, the fillet knife here, and go directly up under the bones, just enough to lift the bones up, and we bring the blade all the way down towards the belly, as far down as possible. One of the things that you don't want to do is go back and forth in the sawing action there, because that will give you ripples throughout the fillet here. So once again, we'll go under the bones, go as far under as possible. And then we'll just trim all the way down. Clean our knife, and then I will rotate the fillet again. Once again, coming at an angle and using my knife, laying it as flat as possible onto the fillet, and just under the bones here, come directly down to open up and expose the nice clean fillet there. And we have nice, clean, beautiful fillet. So now let's continue to remove the bones from the belly here. So what we're going to do once again is take our knife and identify where the bones are, where they begin. And what we want to do is lay our blade as flat as possible and come up under the bones and expose those. Okay. Then what we want to do once again is come all the way up and bring your knife as far under the belly skin as possible, all the way down. And once you get to a place, then it's a matter of just trimming And now you have a nice clean fillet here. There's a few extra bones here that we just want to go under and make sure that we remove. But as you can see, nice and clean, all the bones are removed. So now let's continue with the removal of the skin from the other fillet. So we lay it down, once again, at a nice angle. We have a nice little piece here that we can hold on and grip. What's really important is that you hold the fillet knife as flat as possible, but angle the blade down towards the skin, not so far down where you end up penetrating the skin, but down enough to where you're scraping the skin clean as you go through. And it should be a very smooth and very fluent movement. As you can see, not really moving too much, but just a nice pull and a push, keeping that blade nice and level, nice and flat, all the way down. And the skin is removed nice and clean. Now the next step is to remove the pin bones. So let's demonstrate how to remove the pin bones. So as you can see and feel, the pin bones are very pronounced. It's easy for you to just rub your fingers across and you can feel those pin bones. Let's pull in the direction of the fish. First thing you want to do is start at the very tip and you want to pull and collect. Pull and collect. It's very simple. Very easy. Nice firm grip, and just pull as level to the fish as possible. And you're down towards the end there. And always go through to make sure that you haven't overlooked anything. And as you can see, it's nice and clean, nice and smooth all the way down. And that's the proper technique of removing the pin bones. So as you can see, the principles and techniques of fabricating round fish, especially the salmon, is really important because if you can work very clean and very organized in a very efficient manner, you'll be very productive in any setting, especially in a very competitive setting like a test or an exam. So just remember some of these steps: good sanitation, good practice, the proper tools, proper techniques, and understanding the anatomy of the protein, especially the salmon, is something that will help take your career to the next level.